Hey guy, welcome to today's Geek Talk podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the Oscar nominations for 2018, and let's get right into it. So we're just going to be going through each category individually, and I'm going to be giving my the one I think is going to win, and then my runner-up for that category. And remember to subscribe and leave a like if you want to see more podcasts. And there will be some affiliate links in the description to pick up some podcasting gear, Funko products. And if you just want to become a patron, go to that for exclusive podcasts. But this is going to be episode 2 on Oscar predictions. All right, so first we got the big category, which is Best Picture. I'm going to start with Best Picture. So we got Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. So, when I first came across this category and I first came across Dunkirk, I thought that was pretty much the guarantee for Best Picture. That was pretty much what was going to win. And, so far... Oh, sorry, I was just checking something. So far throughout the year, I'm becoming less and less sure that it's a guarantee for Dunkirk. I mean, we've seen some really great movies over the years, but I'd still put it up there. And so my prediction for the win for this is going to be 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I really think this is one that deserves it. It was sort of underrated. It came into the game very, very, very strong. Some powerful performances and great writing. And then runner-up, I'd pick Dunkirk just because it's Christopher Nolan's masterpiece. The Oscars love Christopher Nolan, and also it hits all the landmarks what you want for a great Oscar movie. It's a World War II historical biopic that depicts a very, very underrated historical event, and directed by Christopher Nolan with some great performances by Tom Hardy. But I think the underrated for this category would be Get Out. I really don't think that one's going to win, but it would be interesting the Oscars pick that because Get Out is sort of leaving the Oscars safety zone by picking sort of a horror comedy, which the Oscars aren't used to. That is very controversial because it's very poignant on race and class in America. But anyways, let's move on. We got directing. So Christopher Nolan for Dunkirk, Jordan Peele for Get Out, Greta Gerwig with Lady Bird, Paul Thomas Anderson, Phantom Threads, Guillermo del Toro for Shape of Water. So my pick for this category is going to be Christopher Nolan for Dunkirk. Again, this is his masterpiece. Well-directed, great action sequences, just overall an amazing picture. Then I put the runner-up as Guillermo del Toro for The Shape of Water because, again, Guillermo del Toro is someone that the Oscars absolutely love. And also, The Shape of Water, just a great picture with great directing. But, again, sort of the outlier in this category would be Greta Gerwig with Lady Bird. I think it was an amazing movie, but as far as a director standpoint, nothing really stands out like the action sequences in Dunkirk or The Shape of Water. Or even I could see Jordan Peele getting it for Get Out. I really could. And, this is sort of a category that's up in the air, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Christopher Nolan for Dunkirk. Actor in a leading role. We got Timothy Chalamet, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Call Me By Your Name, Daniel Day-Lewis, Oscar alum for Phantom Thread. We got Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out, Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour, Denzel Washington, Roman J. Israel. So, in this category, I'm going to put my number one at Denzel Washington for Roman J. Israel. Again, it's just a historic, he's a very significant figure, Roman J. Israel, Denzel Washington, Oscar alum, and also it was just a great, great movie, and Denzel Washington's performance was phenomenal. And then I put the runner-up as Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour just because of how good he was in that movie. He played a very good character. He also picked up the Golden Globe for this category. And then my sort of outlier for this category would be Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Threads. I think they're just picking him because he was an Oscar alum. I don't think his performance was that spectacular, but, we'll have to see. Actress in a leading role. This is probably my favorite category for actresses this year just because there were so many great performances. So we got Sally Hawkins for The Shape of Water. We got Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Margot Robbie for I, Tonya. Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird. And Meryl Streep with The Post. Now, I saw I, Tonya when it was in its limited release. So, Margot Robbie was incredible in that movie. I still haven't seen The Post, so I can't really give my opinion on Meryl Streep, but I've heard that she's very good. I pick her sort of an outlier because she's sort of like the least hyped person in this category. But this one, I gotta give it to Frances McDormand for Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I think it was Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri as I think the best picture of the year. And also, her performance was just outstanding in this movie. It was incredible. It was raw. It was gritty. It was sort of outside Frances McDormand's typical spectrum. It was insane. And then runner-up, Margot Robbie for I, Tonya. She had an absolute incredible performance as Tonya Harding. And it was just, again, raw, gritty, what the Oscars like, the significant figure, playing historical figure. But I'm going to give the outlier to Meryl Streep because it's sort of one of those performances that you have to include her because it's Meryl Streep, but it wasn't specifically spectacular. Actor in a supporting role. So we got William Dafoe in The Florida Project. We got Woody Harrelson in Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Richard Jenkins in The Shape of Water. Christopher Plummer in All the Money in the World. Sam Rockwell in Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. So this one's up in the air for me. I want to give it to Sam Rockwell, though, for Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, just because Woody Harrelson was spectacular in that movie, but Sam Rockwell really stood out to me and sort of put a spin on his character. But then I'd put my runner-up as Christopher Plummer for All the Money in the World, just because I loved him in that movie. But this is a category that I'm not too knowledgeable about, but again, I'm just giving my opinions based on past Oscars and stuff like that. So we got actress in a supporting role. So Mary J. Blige for Mudbound. And sorry if I'm going through these really quick, by the way. I'm trying to keep this short to be so it's a little more shareable. Mary J. Blige from Mudbound. We got Allison Janney in I, Tonya. Lily Manville, Phantom Threads. Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird. And Octavia Spencer for The Shape of Water. This one, Allison Janney, I, Tonya. Absolutely incredible. There's just no doubt about it in my mind that she will pick it up for this category, but I could also see Octavia Spencer picking it up for The Shape of Water, but no doubt in my mind that Allison Janney is going to pick it up for I, Tonya. Writing for adapted screenplay. Call Me By Your Name, The Disaster Artist, Logan, Molly's Game, and Mudbound. I'm not going to lead out all the people that wrote it because it's a lot of names. But so my take on this is I really want to give it, because I think it's going to be Call Me By Your Name, but I really want to give it to The Disaster Artist because that one really stood out to me. And it was just a sort of a clever, sort of funny screenplay. And I think James Franco got snubbed for Best Actor in this, but I think the movie was incredible. I thought it was hilarious. This is one of my favorite movies in the year. This is probably in my top 3. I want to give it to them, but I really think it's going to be Call Me By Your Name. And then the runner-up is going to be The Disaster Artist. Call Me By Your Name, just an incredible story, incredibly well-written. Logan is going to be the outlier for this category. I think it was an incredible movie, and I think it's well-deserved for more Oscars. Its screenplay was amazing, but it's just one of those movies that the Oscars, they don't really pick that much. It's a superhero movie. So we got writing for original screenplay. The Big Sick. We got Get Out. Lady Bird, The Shape of Water, and Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I really want to give it to, I think it's going to be Get Out by Jordan Peele. Just really cleverly, well-written, very original idea about race, hitting all the landmarks that the Oscars love. And Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri is going to be my runner-up because I really think overall that movie is the best movie of the year. And it's incredibly well written. I could see the Oscars giving it to them. I could also see them giving it to The Shape of Water. But I really think it's going to be either Get Out or Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I'd give Get Out a little bit of an edge in this one because it's sort of more original. And it's something we really haven't seen before, this horror comedy that actually works. So, for Best Animated Feature Film, The Boss Baby, which I cannot believe even got a nomination. The Breadwinner, Coco, Ferdinand, and Loving Vincent. This one's obvious to me. It's going to be Coco. There's just no chance it's not going to be Coco. It was the best animated movie for a year, but this category is sort of weak in my opinion. There was nothing that really stood out to me. There was no Zootopia. There was no Frozen, Toy Story 3, or anything like that absolutely stood out. But The Boss Baby is going to be my outlier because I cannot even believe it got a nomination. And then Coco was a runner-up for, I'm just going to say, Loving Vincent. I haven't actually seen the movie, but based on what it's about, I'm assuming that might be one. So that's really it for the main categories. I haven't seen any of the documentaries, and then movies I think got snubbed. I really think Baby Driver got snubbed for a lot of the categories. I think James Franco got snubbed for Best Actor. Battle of the Sexes, I think, should have been both Emma Stone and Steve Carell, I think, got snubbed for Best Actor and Best Actress. And overall, I think Get Out is sort of... I love how the Oscars picked that because it's a movie that's not like them. It's a horror comedy that's sort of out of their reach of what the Oscars typically will like. So I love how they picked that one. And, I love how they picked up the Disaster Artist for Best Adapted Screenplay. Well deserved. And though Dunkirk in the beginning, I thought Dunkirk was going to win like everything. Like, except for the acting categories, I thought Christopher Nolan was going to absolutely sweep it. But then, late in the game, we see movies like Lady Bird coming in. I mean, Get Out we already knew about, but we see Shape of Water coming, Three Billboards coming, and now it's seeming less and less likely that Dunkirk is going to absolutely sweep these Oscars. So I'd stay on the lookout for... Everyone thinks it's going to be Dunkirk winning Best Picture, but I really think it's going to be Three Billboards. But all the predictions, like you can see, they still have Dunkirk winning Best Picture. I mean, no one thinks they're going to sweep it like they originally thought it would, because, I mean, I don't want to downplay the movie. It's a masterpiece. It's incredible. It's Christopher Nolan raw and just amazing. I use raw a lot as an adjective because I like it. But so basically, yeah, as I saw more and more movies that came out late in the game, like, if I had to make a top 10, Dunkirk would definitely make the top 10 for best films of the year. And then, but I really, 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 really think that Three Billboards is going to take it this year for Best Picture. And, but Dunkirk's going to be my runner-up. It still could beat out Three Billboards. I wouldn't be shocked if it did, but I also wouldn't be shocked if Three Billboards took it for the Oscars. But, yeah, that was this week's Geek Talk podcast. I'll see you guys next week. If hit subscribe if you enjoy the video, and leave a like, and also leave a comment letting me know what you think about these. And this week, although I still avoided sort of the comic book talk, you can be an Oscar geek. You can be, but also I'll be if you want to pick up this Blue Snowball, microphone that I'm recording on, there will be an eBay link in the description. It is an affiliate link, which means I will receive a small commission, and I have to let you guys know. And there's also going to be a Funko affiliate link if you want to pick up Funko products for any of the movies listed. And then there will also be a patronage page link, which is if you want to donate to me to get access to exclusive podcasts. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.